They deserve this? Anheuser Busch is reportedly selling 8 of its beer brands due to losses stemming from the Bud Light fiasco. The insane part is that Bud Light is on track to lose $1 billion in profit for Anheuser Busch this year. The company is selling some of its craft beer brands in order to recoup losses. Bud Light has seen a worldwide boycott after it featured a trans man in one of its ads. Did they bring this on themselves? Sales of Bud Light have slumped over 29% this year as the brand is unable to sell any of the beer. Shelves in grocery stores and gas stations are full of Bud Light, and customers aren't buying despite massive discounts. People online have initiated a massive boycott of the beer in protest of its ad campaign with Dylan Mulvaney. Bars and sporting venues are reportedly losing money by offering Bud Light as an option, and many are removing the beer from their catalog. All this is hurting the brand's bottom line. Anheuser Busch has to lay off 350 of its workers earlier last month, and is now looking to sell some of its assets. Busch has dropped contact with Dylan and ended business with other potentially damaging situations. Most of the brands Busch is selling are craft beers, including Shock Top. They will go to a Canadian company called Tilray. Busch is looking to recover after their misstep and has been distancing themselves from any other potential scandals.
Hey folks, this is Jeff from This Week with JTT. As promised, I will try to give you information about what's going on with Anheuser Busch. In fact, I try to find out what the 8 craft beer brands they were selling off. Yes, they're selling off their brands. There's something similar to what Marvel did with itself, their characters, but with beer, that's I never heard of. One I heard of, the rest I never heard of. But these are the ones that involved in the sale. This one says here from, I think it's WKBTX, and Bud Light maker Anheuser Busch sells 8 brands to cannabis cannabis company. But these are the brands. And this says Tilray Brands made an announcement Monday for the 8 brands involved in the sales include, and wait for it, Shock Top, Breckenridge, which I heard of, but only like once or twice, Blue Point Brewery Company, Tan Barrel Brewery Company, Red Hook Brewery Company, Wimmer Brothers Brewing, Square Cider Company, and Highball Energy. Those I never heard before. It's maybe Breckenridge, yes, but the others never heard before. That kind of surprised me though, but the biggest surprise of them all, if I'm read it correctly though, they're being sold to a cannabis company. Yes, let me double check to make sure. Yeah, this like information also came from, hold on a sec, I want to look through the video. Yeah, yep, to a cannabis country. It says Tilray Brands announced they have acquired. Okay, I think that's the name of the cannabis company. Tilray Brands announced they have acquired 8 beer and beverage brands from Anheuser Busch. So if I'm correct, Tilray Brands, they are the ones who bought the 8 beer and beverage brands from Anheuser Busch. The Bud Light company, Anheuser Busch, is selling off those 8 brands and beer. Basically, they're still taking hits from the big debacle with Dylan Mulvaney, and they're selling off to a cannabis lifestyle consumer packaged goods company. That's pretty wild. But the reality is, people say like this is too political, this is political. In my opinion, it's more of just politics. It's more like keeping the customers happy. And they're trying to make, it sound like, basically the thing they did with Dylan Mulvaney was a huge mistake because a lot of the customers saying no. Now, I know people say like they don't care, beer is beer. And right now, the Bud Light beer is so cheap, they're trying to sell it off. And I imagine these guys said, that's cool, I'll buy more beer for less pay, for less money and all that. That's great. These guys can buy like cases and cases of beer. That's the good news because there's plenty of beer to be bought. But after a while, it won't be that much because after a while, once the beer is bought out, because right now they got overabundance of excess beer. They have a huge surplus of beer that's not being sold. So they try to make the price as low as possible to sell it off. But it will come a time where it could be, those Bud Light products won't be around that much. And the irony is, like I said, Modelo, straight from Mexico, if I'm correct, is the #1 beer in America, even though they're not from America. But either way, to me personally, it doesn't bother me because I'm not a beer drinker. The only beer I'll drink is ginger beer, root beer, maybe birch beer. That's it. Nothing alcoholic. But all the beer drinkers, yeah, at least there's plenty of options, plenty of variety of beers you could drink. You know, if you're like a diehard Bud drinker, good luck. Other than that, folks, peace.